So we've talked about different ways of writing quadratic equations. We've talked about how to take information and write it in vertex form. We've talked about how to take certain information and write it in factored form. And now we are going to talk about another way of creating quadratics, okay? And so if, you don't have the x-intercepts or you can't seem to find the vertex and you still have to write a quadratic equation or a quadratic function to represent the information that you're given about a quadratic, there is another way of doing that, and you can use a calculator. Okay, so what we're going to talk about is how to use a calculator to write a quadratic function for you. Okay, so we're going to do it with this example, but we're just going to talk about essentially how to use the calculator. Okay, you can use a calculator. And so we're going to talk about how to use Desmos, since that's what we use for this class. Okay, so if they give you a quadratic, and notice like in this one, it's a little bit harder to tell where the vertex is, like coordinate wise, and it's also kind of hard to tell where the x-intercepts are. And so if you're having trouble seeing that and it's just not working for you to do it the other way, you can use the calculator. And so we're just going to go through the steps with that. Okay, so in this problem it says write a quadratic function in standard form. So this one's wanting us to put it in standard form given the following graph. Okay, so to be able to do it with the calculator, you have to actually find 3 points that parabola goes through. Okay, and so now I was nice and I kind of pinpointed some points for you, but you don't have to use the ones I kind of pointed out. Like I said before, you can pick any of the coordinates that are on that U, as long as they are on the parabola. Okay, and so to go from here to actually be able to type it in your calculator, you are going to need to make a table with at least 3 points that it goes through. Okay, so to make your table, you have your x and y values. You're going to take those 3 points at least that you found, and you put kind of your x values and your y values together. So I'm just going to use the points that I've kind of pointed out for you. So we have the point -4, 2. And then we have the point -2, -4. And then we have the point 1, 2. Okay, so as long as you have 3 coordinates that it goes through, you'll be able to write that quadratic equation. All right, so the steps to do that, you're going to pull up your calculator or Desmos, which is what we're using. Okay, and then let me see if I can get all of this on here at one time here. Maybe we might have to go one at a time. But so to get your table up, you're going to hit that plus button. And now for yours, you may not have as many options, but you're going to hit table. And then you're going to type in the data that you just put in a table. So you type in all your x values in the x column. So we got -4, -2, and then 1. And then you're going to type in your y values. So you have 2, you have -4, and then you have 2. Okay, and then from there, you're going to either click to the next thing, or you could hit the plus button and hit expression. Okay, and this is actually where you're going to get Desmos to give you the equation. And so it asked us in this problem to write the standard form. So if you remember the standard form of a quadratic equation, which you will have to remember for it to give it to you, it is y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So that's essentially what you're going to type here, but you have to actually modify a couple things. The reason you're going to do that is because what you're actually getting Desmos to do is it's going to take your information, which notice it graphed it for you up here, but it's going to take those dots and it's going to approximate a quadratic function, or in other words, a u that goes through them. And so because it's approximating it based on the coordinates that you put in, you have to tell Desmos to take those coordinates and do that with them. And so the little modifications that you have to do here is, if you look at your table, you've got like a little x1 and a y1. So in your equation, when you type it in, when you have a y, to tell it to take it from this y column, you have to put a little subscript of a 1 there, okay? It's not really a big deal. If you just type the 1 after you type the y, it'll automatically go to a subscript. And then kind of the same thing with the x's that you see here. Instead of just typing an x, you have to actually type in an x with a little subscript of a 1. And so you're going to put a little subscript of a 1 there. And then the only other thing that you're going to have to change is instead of an equals, because sometimes it'll be approximating it, instead of an equals, you have to put a little squiggly, which the actual name of it's a tilde, but it just looks like a squiggly, so I call it a squiggly, okay? And so as long as you type it in and you make it kind of pull from your table by doing little subscripts, and then you have your little squiggly there, it will calculate the equation for you. And so what it's going to give you is what A, B, and C are, and then all you have to do is plug in like we did in the other problems, and you'll have your equation, okay? So let's go and type it in. So you're going to type in, so let me pull up my keyboard, so it'd be Y, and then like I said, you have to type that 1, so notice when I hit the 1, it automatically went to a subscript. Okay, then you have to hit the little tilde or the squiggly. So now on your keyboard, the tilde is right beside the 1 key. Okay, if you're using the app, you're going to go to the keyboard and you'll see that there's a little squiggly down here. So you hit that. Then you're going to type in the rest of your equation. So you type in A, X, and then remember you have to type the 1, and notice it goes to a subscript, and you're going to see stuff popping up, but just keep typing it until you get the whole thing before you look. Then you have to get the squared. So if you look, there's the A squared, so you're going to hit that, and it'll pop a little 2 up there for the squared. Then keep typing. So you got plus bx, so bx, and then don't forget your 1 so that it pulls from the table, and notice it's starting to get a quadratic, but you got to finish typing it. So it's plus C, okay? So once you get that typed in, if you scroll down, or you might be able to see it already, it gives you what A, B, and C are. And so all you have to do from there is take those and plug it in to standard form. So I'm going to take the A, the B, and the C. So A is 1, B is 3, and C is -2. And then I'm just going to plug it in my quadratic equation. So remember, quadratic, the standard form of a quadratic equation is y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So I'm going to take my a, my b, and my c and plug it in. So it'd be y equals, my a is 1, so it'd be 1x squared. My b is 3, so it'd be plus 3x. And then my c is -2, so it'd really be like a -2. And that is my standard form of my quadratic function, okay? So if you're not able to put it in the other forms because you don't have the information you need, then all you have to do is just pick 3 coordinates that are on the U, and you can use your calculator to give it to you.